Hello, welcome back to the Off-Grid family. Today I'm going to make the cheapest bed I can for my CO2 laser, the K40. And basically I'm just using recycled bits and bobs, and it's basically going to cost me less than £1 easily. Anyway, before we get on, I'd just like to say thank you to Paul and David, my patrons. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate everything you're doing. It's inspired me to buck up my act and getting more content out there for you guys. So if you would like to become a patron, head on over and just check it out. There's a lot of early access stuff and so on. Anyway, let's get on. Okay, for this project I found a bit of fencing in my garden which I'm going to cut down to size. I've got the original bed for the K40 which I'm going to use just for a size comparison. I can use it as a template. Some wire cutters, some nuts and bolts and some washers. That's literally all we're going to need. Oh, and a screwdriver. Right, so I'm not sure if that's going to be shown up on the camera. It should do, but this is the square I need cut out wherever I've cut these bits. So now all I need to do is cut along as close to the edge as I possibly can. And I will obviously speed this up for you guys because this isn't going to be a quick process. Okay, I'm going to straighten up some of these edges where I've accidentally made it a little bit sharper than it needs to be, and I'll be back. Now, as you can see, it's quite a little bit not flat at the moment. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to come along with a piece of wood and I'm going to plonk it down and I'm going to figure out where the raised bits are, and I'm going to slowly flatten it, and it will get flatter over time. And I don't need it to be super duper flat because I'm going to be screwing this down as tight as I can and as, you know, flat as I can. But I'm just going to try and get the majority of the sort of the deflections out of it. Right, it's still got a bit of flex in it, but it's much better than it was. Now we need to go and put this in the laser. Okay, so we're now looking inside the laser, and this is a bit I genuinely haven't checked, so I don't know if this is going to 100% work. But what I've got here is quite a long screw. I checked now, this bit I have checked. The screw holes in the original platforms that came with them go all the way down, so you can use any length screw you want. And I've chosen quite long screws, and I've got two washers here. So what I want to do is, can we see that all right? Yeah. Plop this on like this, not on tight, and then do the same for each one. So I'll speed that up and be back. Okay, the lighting's not the best here, but I'm doing my best with what we got. And basically, here we go, we've just got two washers on each screw. And now I'm going to hopefully put the mesh in and sandwich it between these washers. So one's on top, one's underneath. And the reason I haven't screwed them in is they will fit through if you finagle them, but not if they're flat. So hopefully this will then hold the whole sheet down, well, the grid, the fencing. But I'm not 100% sure. As I say, I haven't tried this yet. Okay, here goes nothing. I'm genuinely not sure what's going to happen. Okay, first things first, that bit fits. Let's put that all the way to the back. Okay. Alright, so it fits. That's one good thing. Now we've got to see if we can get it on. So this needs to be removed for now, and we might have to cut that bit out or something. Okay, so our first hitch. Okay, all the rest seem okay. This is going to be fiddly as anything. Okay, that one is done. I haven't screwed it all the way in yet. If you can see, there's one on top. No, you can't really see. Yeah, there we go. There's one on the bottom, one on the top. So once I tighten that down, that should be held in place. Now I've got to do it for all of the other ones, and we'll see how it goes. So basically all I've been doing is pulling up the washers like this, pulling up the piece of mesh. I'm trying to do this only one-handed so I can sort of show you. And then when I get one across the thing, I can slowly let it down, and then it's a case of just wiggling the set of the top one until it sits in place. There you go. And now screwing it down. Right, I don't want to sound shocked, but I cannot believe that worked. I was assuming I'd have to do loads and loads more to this to get it to work. It's actually flattened itself out. There is a few little bits that are less than, you know, we're looking at microns, not millimeters, but basically it's straightened out. And like here, for example, there's the tiniest little bit of deflection, and now it's gone. So that's literally it. That's all I have to do. So the only thing that might be a bit off now is the height, because at the moment this isn't going to be moving. The reason I've put a fixed bed in here is because I'm only using this one for 3mm MDF. What I might do is buy myself a new one and, you know, save up for a while, buy myself a new one and then kit that out as well, because I'd love to re-upgrade it and come up with different things, but I'll talk to you about that in a second. But yeah, what I wanted to say was, if I find this is slightly too low, then all I need to do is add a couple more washers underneath and slowly build it up until it's the right height. But yeah, it works really well. I cannot believe how solid it is. So there you go, the cheapest laser bed imaginable. And I'd looked for such a long time for a piece of the actual fencing, and I just had it in my garden all along. It does tend to be quite expensive online, but there are lots of places you can get it from. And, you know, go down the tip, have a look there. There's always stuff like that around. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.